I used to take myself out on dates, open my own doors, pay for everything on my plate. Sometimes I'd even get the steak, cause I got it like that. Always had my own bag, never needed no man to rely on. Got two good shoulders to cry on. I was alright on my own till I fell, but it wasn't fate. And I couldn't tell at the time, but I was my own soulmate. It's like I forgot I was finally.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited about today's video because today we're going to be doing a makeup tutorial. I'm going to be showing you my flawless foundation and long-lasting makeup routine. I hope that this video is easy to follow and great for beginners. So to start, the first key element to flawless long-lasting makeup is a great primer. I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I recently started using it and y'all, I am in love. This primer is amazing. It creates a really nice base under your makeup. It's made with blue agave, which helps to grip your makeup in place for an all-day hold, and my skin loves it because it really helps to hydrate and provide a really smooth finish, and I love that it can be worn with makeup or without. After applying this primer, be sure to allow it to absorb for a minute and then begin applying your foundation. Now, the foundation that I'm going to be using is by NARS. This is their Natural Radiant Long Wear Foundation. I am in love with this stuff too. I did get it in color Mako, and I wasn't sure if it matched my skin. I've pretty much just been shopping online, so I've been using others that were potentially my skin color in order to gauge my foundation color, and it worked. And then also for brushes, guys, in order for a flawless finish, you really need to make sure that you get quality brushes. I'm using brushes by Real Techniques. I'll also be sure to link any other makeup brushes that you may see me use throughout this makeup tutorial. But getting into this foundation, I love that this foundation comes with a pump. So I just pump it onto my skin and then use round motions in order to stipple it into my skin. The cool thing about this foundation is that it provides 16 hours of fade resistant wear with medium to full coverage, and it's transfer resistant as well as sweat resistant. And trust me, I know, because I was outside the other day and I was sweating like a pig and my makeup stayed in place. All right, so now that we've applied our foundation, it's time to move on to concealer, and I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I did get these in a mini because I wasn't sure what color to go with. I actually purchased two, and this was the lightest color, and I don't feel like it's light enough, so I did go online and purchase some more. I do like this concealer. It also provides 16 hours of wear, and I'm just applying this concealer to areas where light naturally hits. Under my eyes, I did a triangular shape in order to give it a good amount of coverage in that area. I added it to the bridge of my nose, also above my lip and on my forehead. Now, a good rule of thumb is that your concealer be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your actual foundation color, and I don't feel like that's the case, so I did decide to go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in color Warm Honey in order to lighten that area a bit more so that it can cause it to pop. Now I'm just going to follow that up with my beauty blender, and this one's by Real Techniques. I love this one. I usually wet it, and I do so with warm water, and then I squeeze it out, make sure it's nice and damp, and then I use that in order to pat it into my skin, and I'm just blending it out, making sure it's really nice and flawless. And this process is so important. It can make or break your makeup application. I used to actually do this process with a dry beauty blender, and my makeup did not look great at all. So be sure to wet your beauty blender. And I'm also deciding to go under the area where my jawline is to add the excess of the concealer to that area so that it can lighten it up. And then you want to follow it up with a good powder. The setting powder that I'm going to be using first is the Black Opal True Color Soft Velvet Finish Powder. I'm using the color Neutral Light, and while I would typically use this in isolation, you are going to see me go in with the Sacha Buttercup in a little while after applying this to all the areas where I applied the concealer. And I'm doing that because I wanted it to have more of a yellow tone, because I felt like the concealer match is okay, but it's not quite what I wanted. So I wanted more of a yellow tone, so I'm going to add that next. But you only need one setting powder.
Ryan Little.
Now it's time to contour. I'm going to be using the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in color Dark to Deep, and I'll be using the sculpt from that palette, and I'm just using a brush, and I'm using circular motions in order to map out my face, and I'm putting it along my cheekbones, I'm also going to be applying it along the sides of my nose in order to contour that out, which I really don't need it, but I still do it. I will also be contouring my forehead, but I'm going to be using the Black Radiance foundation stick in color Espresso in order to do this. And I really love this one a great deal because it's so dark and rich, and it has a really nice warm tone to it. So I'm going to apply it to my forehead as well as the area just closest to my sideburns. So now I'm just going to blend that out, and then I'm going to proceed to move on to the next step. My next step in my makeup routine is to apply blush. I'm using MAC blush in color Raisin. I start by applying it to my cheekbones, and then I'm going to apply it to the apples of my cheeks. And I'm not sure why, but I use this color as well as another color by Black Radiance, and I'll show that in a moment. I'm just going to layer that, and then I'll also apply it to my forehead. I also like to apply it to my chin and the tip of my nose. Now it's time for one of my favorite steps, which is highlighting. Many of you all often comment that I'm glowing. Well, it's because of this highlighter. I'm using color French Toast from the BH Cosmetics Deluxe palette in collaboration with It's MyRaye, and this is my favorite palette to use. Like, look at that. I love this highlighter. It's so gorgeous. So I'm applying this just above where I applied my blush. I'm going to also be applying it to the bridge of my nose, and I like getting the tip first and then going along the bridge. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the sides of my forehead. Oh, and I almost forgot, I am going to put some on my Cupid's bow as well. After this process, I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera. I will link my eyebrow tutorial, which is very detailed, in the cards above, so be sure to check it out. Next, we're going to move into eyeshadow. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going to start with is the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place, and this one is highly pigmented, which I love. I'm starting with the brown from the palette, which is called Fulani, and this color will serve as my transition color. Now after this, I'm going to grab my It's MyRaye palette, and I'm going to go into the area just under my brows to highlight that area. I just want it to pop a little more and cause the eyeshadow just to stand out and have a natural contrast. So I'm going to do that there, and then I like to go into the area just above my eyelid, and I'm just going to contour out that area using this really deep dark purple. Applying the darker color in the crease is really going to help my eyes to pop. After this, I'm going to go in with this beautiful caramel color, and I'm just going to place that over the original brown color that I added, and I'm just going to blend that out, and then I'm going to follow it up with Allison and Fairy Tale. These are two shimmery golden colors that I love. I feel like they really add a really nice touch to the look. After doing this, I'm going to add my lashes, and the lashes that are my go-to are these Cocoa lashes in the style Venus. I use these all the time, so I'm just going to do a slight wing liner, and then I'm going to put on my lashes off camera, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Next up, I'm going to be adding a highlight color just before my tear duct. I feel like it makes me look more awake, and it just really adds flair to the look. So I'm going to go in with that color using a really small brush. I'm going to define that area, and then we're going to do the lip color. For our lippy, I will be using a liquid matte lip color, so I'm going to be applying a chapstick on first, and I love using this cocoa butter lip balm, and this is to help our lips from getting dry. The lip color that we're going to be using is by the Lip Bar, and this is Boss Lady. I love this red lip. It is so gorgeous, and I've been getting a lot of compliments regarding this color, so I'm just going to use the tip of the brush in order to outline my lips first, and then I'm going to begin to fill the color in. And that's pretty much the end of this video, guys. I tried tried to be as detailed and as thorough as possible. I hope that you all enjoyed this makeup for beginners tutorial and how to get flawless, long-lasting makeup. I tried to share all the tips and tricks that I've learned over the past few years. I hope that they were helpful. My routine has changed quite a bit over the years, and this last step is definitely something I never used to do, which is adding a setting spray. This is the MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just positioning the bottle away from my face, spraying, and then I'm gonna fan it till it's dry, and voila, we are finished.
I used to take myself out on dates, open my own doors, pay for everything on my plate. Sometimes I'd even get the steak, cause I got it like that. Always had my own bag, never needed no man to rely on. Got two good shoulders to cry on. I was alright on my own till I fell, but it wasn't fate. And I couldn't tell at the time, but I was my own soulmate. It's like I forgot I was fine, let you treat me any kind of way. Now I'm free, you gotta celebrate. You couldn't see everything and stay. That I wasn't afraid to say, yeah. If I gotta choose me, I won't be afraid to. If I gotta choose me, I gotta do what I gotta do. When I love you, I lose me. Now I can't be attached to you no more. I like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better, I like me better, yeah, yeah. I like me better, I like me better when I wasn't yours.
Alright y'all, that's the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I provided all the details for you guys down in the description box with links from everything that I showed in this video. I hope that it was helpful. Be sure to share this video with a friend, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye guys.
I like me better.